Hi, I'm Louis Ball. This is The Colors of Prague. This is season 5, episode 1. Yes, season 5. So today I'm going to discuss this band, Transatlantic, and these two specific live recordings. The Final Flight, live at La Olympia in France, and Morsefest 2022, The Absolute Whirlwind. So over the decades, quite a few of the Italian prog bands had shared members with other bands, guested on other musical bands' albums. In the US and in the UK, it was a rare occurrence, but it did happen. Transatlantic is referred to nowadays as one of the first prog supergroups. We had Neil Morse, Spock's Beard originally, solo work, of course, Neil Morse Band, and Flying Colors. Roy Stolt, yes, him again, of the Flower Kings. Mike Portnoy of Dream Theater and the Neil Morse Band, and Pete Trevavas of Marillion. Now, Transatlantic is hugely popular with the progressive rock crowd, and they only have 5 studio albums. Well, for live recordings, they actually have 6. So wrap your head around that. It's 11 albums, 5 of them are studio, 6 live recordings. See, although released in reverse order, I'll tackle Morsefest 2022, the Absolute Whirlwind, first. The band, augmented by Ted Leonard of Spock's Beard and Chant, of course. He guested on vocals, guitars, and keyboards. So the band was celebrating the release of the Absolute Whirlwind extended version in 2021 with the Mammoth show at Morsefest. Mammoth, I say, is over 3.5 hours of music at the Morsefest show. Now, this box is so big, it's ridiculous. It looks like an LP, but it's a large size LP box, the kind of thing that would have multi-discs and multi-vinyl discs. What, in fact, is in here is 5 CDs of the entire show, plus 2 Blu-rays of the entire show, equaling to over 4 hours of music. Wrap your head around that. Disc 1 features selected songs from the early Transatlantic albums. Disc 2 recreates the Whirlwind Live, that studio album, and discs 3 and 4 feature highlights, but not everything, but most things, from the Absolute Universe edition. And disc 5 ends with Bridge Across Forever. That was one of their early albums, and a medley including their prog non-hit, My New World. There's also a string and choir section present at this performance, but in the tough mix, which is generally excellent, you only occasionally hear the strings, but it's, it's really good live, this Morsefest show. And of note to Procol Harum fans, In Hell 'Twas I, which Transatlantic covered on their debut SMPTE in 2000, is also recreated live here. They don't often perform that live. In 2023, Transatlantic embarked on a final tour, although I say never. The dates in that tour included an appearance on Cruise to the Edge, which the Flower Kings also appeared on, which I saw. I saw that performance. Billed as the final live show of the band ever, again, never say never, it was live at the Olympia Theater in, I believe, Paris, France. So again, we had Morris on vocals, Neil Morris on vocals, keyboards, guitars, Portnoy on drums and vocals, Stolt on guitars and vocals, Treloas on bass and vocals, and returning Ted Leonard on vocals, guitars, and keyboards. Unlike the gargantuan Morsefest set, this one is shorter, just short of 3 hours, and it's on three CDs, three compact discs. Most of the absolute Morsefest, most of the absolute universe is performed on the first two CDs, with the third condensing the highlights of the Whirlwind into a suite and ending with what they call now the final medley. There's an additional disc, a fourth disc, sorry about that. It's a Blu-ray, features the entire show in 5.1 surround sound. So will this be the last we hear from Transatlantic? I don't know. I hope not. It's certainly not easy to play long shows for 3 hours or more anymore at their ages. And the challenges of playing some music that's in different time measures, like 7/8 or 9/8, that's got to be tough. According to Ryan Stolt, it was a challenge gearing up for that tour. And kudos to Ted Leonard for really belting it out because he's a real troop. That guy has a fantastic voice, very energetic. And Pattern Seeking Animals is also another one of Ted Leonard's bands. He's also still in Spock's Beard. And Chant may or may not be on hiatus. I caution, someone will pop up and say, well, no, that band's done or Transatlantic is done, but you never know. During the lockdown years, COVID 2021 to early 2022, or thereabouts, there was so much music, progressive rock, progressive metal, progressive folk. I mean, coming out from everyone everywhere because people pretty much were sending files, music files back and forth to each other, recording albums like the ones I discussed, and it's kind of slowed down a little bit lately. But these are two great transatlantic performances. If you're a fan, which one should you get? The Morsefest one. I think it's got a lot more music on it. Good show. The Paris show is good as well. So if you're a real fan, you'll probably eventually get both. Um, that's our show for today. Transatlantic. Thanks for watching. Be well.